Rylan stepped into the scrapyard with slow steps, the cold wind pushing dust around his boots. The place was silent, too silent for a yard filled with broken ships and metal ruins. He had come only to find old parts for his workshop, but as he walked deeper, he felt a strange feeling. It was like someone, or something, was watching him. Old ships lay stacked like forgotten bones. Cracked helmets, burnt wiring, and shattered hulls covered the ground. Rylan had visited many scrapyards before, but this one felt different. The air felt heavy as if the yard itself held its breath. His flashlight moved across piles of wreckage, but nothing moved. Still, the strange feeling stayed in his chest. He stopped near a tall pile of scrap metal. Something underneath the metal gave off a faint glow, a soft blue light barely visible. Rylan frowned. Nothing in the yard was supposed to have power. Everything here had been dead for years. Curious, he bent down and brushed the dust aside. His hand touched a smooth, cold surface, not scratched metal but something strange and beautiful. He began pulling pieces of junk away. Under the old metal sheets, he uncovered a curved hull, silver and blue, like a sleeping creature hidden in shadows. It looked nothing like human ships. It looked alive. The lines were too smooth, the design too advanced. Rylan's breath caught in his throat. "What are you?" he whispered. The glow pulsed softly as if answering. Rylan stepped back. For a moment he wondered if he should leave it alone. But his curiosity pushed him forward. He climbed onto the half-buried hull and wiped more dust away. There were thin patterns on the surface like veins running in complex shapes. The ship wasn't just a machine. It was biotech, half living, half metal. As his palm pressed gently against the hull, something happened. The glow brightened. A small vibration ran through the surface. Rylan's heartbeat quickened. He knew this wasn't normal. No abandoned ship should react like this. He pulled back quickly, but the ship responded again. A faint sound rose from within the hull. It was not metal grinding or systems powering up. It was a voice. Weak, broken, and soft. Rylan froze. The voice whispered, "Don't leave me." His heart jumped. He looked around, expecting someone to be hiding behind the pile of scrap. No one was there. Only the silent wreck in him. Rylan touched the ship again. The glow brightened even more, like a small heartbeat trying to stay alive. He leaned close, trying to hear better. The voice came again, clearer than before. "Please, don't leave me." Rylan swallowed. The ship was speaking. Not in words meant for a human, but the meaning reached his mind somehow. The tone was desperate, lonely. He knelt beside the hull, slowly brushing away more dust. "You're still alive," he whispered. The ship answered with a soft pulse of light. Rylan felt a mixture of fear and excitement. He had repaired many machines, but nothing like this. The ship must have been abandoned for years, maybe decades, yet it still had some spark left. But why was it here? Who had left it behind? Rylan looked deeper into the scrapyard. Rain clouds hung heavy above, the wind colder now. The place felt even more silent, as if watching him and the ship with hidden eyes. He tried to find an entrance. After clearing more junk, he uncovered what looked like a hatch. It was cracked and burnt, probably damaged from a battle long ago. He pressed the edge, trying to open it. The hatch did not move at first. Then slowly it unlocked with a tired hiss. Inside was darkness. Cold, empty darkness. Rylan used his flashlight to look inside. The interior looked strange, curved walls, pulsing lines, seats that looked grown instead of built. Everything was damaged. But the core chamber deep inside gave off that same faint blue glow. He climbed inside carefully. The ship felt like walking into the remains of a long-lost creature. Every corner whispered memories of something great that had been broken. When he reached the core chamber, he saw it clearly, the heart of the ship. It flickered weakly like a dying ember. Rylan crouched beside it. "You've been alone for a long time, haven't you?" The core answered with a soft tremble. There was something sad in that small movement. Something afraid. Rylan reached out and gently touched the core. It felt warm, alive. The ship's voice returned, clearer this time, though still weak. "Don't leave me alone." Rylan felt a tightness in his chest. He had never heard a machine sound so human. So lonely. He took a breath and relaxed his shoulders. "I'm not leaving," he said softly. "I'm here." The glow brightened like relief. Rylan sat on the floor of the broken chamber, the cold metal beneath him. He studied the core, trying to understand what had happened. Why the ship was here. Why it was still alive. Why it had been abandoned. But the ship gave no answers, only small pulses of light, like a timid creature unsure if it could trust him. Rylan looked around again. Something in this wreck felt important, too important to ignore. He felt it deep inside him. This wasn't just a broken ship. It had a story, a purpose, a past filled with things he could not yet understand. He took a slow, deep breath and spoke softly, "All right. I'll help you. But you need to help me too. Can you show me what's wrong?" The core dimmed for a moment, then lit up again. A small panel on the wall flickered, showing faint symbols, alien symbols Rylan didn't recognize. But he understood one thing: the ship was trying to communicate with him. He smiled a little. "Good. We'll start there." The ship hummed gently like a sigh of hope. Outside, the wind grew stronger. Dark clouds gathered overhead. The scrapyard felt colder than before, but inside the wreck, something had changed. The ship was no longer silent. It had spoken. It had asked for help. And Rylan, a simple human mechanic, had answered. He did not know it yet, but this moment would change his life, and the galaxy, forever. The wreck was no longer just a forgotten pile of metal. It was alive. It needed him. And it would not let him walk away. The night around the crash site was quiet when Milo stepped closer to the strange vehicle. Its metal frame was cold, its lights dead, and its shape looked nothing like any human machine. He felt a mix of fear and curiosity. He knew he should walk away, but something inside him pushed him forward. The silence around the wreck made him feel like the world was holding its breath. He placed a hand on the cracked outer shell. It felt heavy and old, like it had been there for years. He walked around it and noticed broken panels, loose wires, and dents that spoke of a hard fight. He could not understand its design, but he could tell it was advanced. Too advanced to be from Earth. Milo knelt down beside an open panel. Inside, he saw rows of circuits that glowed faintly, almost like sparks trying to stay alive. He reached in and touched a thin wire. It snapped off with a soft spark. The lights inside the panel flickered once, then went dark. Milo sighed. It looked hopeless. But then something moved. A soft hum rose from deep inside the machine. It was weak, like someone struggling to breathe. Milo stepped back, unsure if he had done something wrong. The hum continued, rising and falling slowly. Then he heard a voice. It was quiet, distant, and broken. "Is someone there?" Milo froze. He looked around, thinking he was imagining it. But the voice came again, clearer this time, though still damaged. "Please, don't leave. I can hear you." He stepped closer to the wreck. "Are you talking to me?" he asked. The lights inside the vehicle flickered again. A soft blue glow spread through the cracks in the metal. The voice said, "Yes, you touched my core. I am awakening." Milo swallowed hard. "You're alive?" "I am an ARC Scout unit," the voice replied. "My pilot is gone. My mission is incomplete. I have been waiting a very long time." Milo felt a strange sadness from the voice, almost like emotion. "What happened to you?" "Ambush, crash, system failure," it said. "I tried to call for my pilot, but he never returned. My circuits entered sleep mode. Your touch woke me." Milo looked at the broken wires, the open panel, the damaged hull. He realized the vehicle was not just a machine. It was aware. It had memory. It had pain. He knelt again and touched one of the loose wires carefully. "You're in bad shape," he said softly. "I don't know if I can fix everything." The voice responded, small and hopeful. "You tried. You stayed. That is enough." Most beings saw me and walked away. Milo felt a tightness in his chest. He could imagine this machine lying here alone for years, unable to move, unable to speak, waiting for someone who never came. He didn't want to be another person who abandoned it. "I'm not leaving," he said. The glow inside the wreck warmed, like a faint smile. "Thank you, human." Milo took a deep breath. "If you trust me, I can try to repair your circuits. I'm not an expert, but I know machines. I fix old cars back home. Maybe I can help." "You can," the voice said, stronger now. "My name is Saran, or what is left of Saran. If you repair me, I will tell you everything." Milo nodded. He grabbed his small toolkit from his backpack and opened it beside the wreck. The night was cold, but he worked fast. He cleaned rusted edges, connected loose wires, and replaced broken pieces with anything he could find. Every time he fixed something, Saran's glow grew brighter. Hours passed. The stars shifted overhead. Milo's hands were dirty, his fingers numb, but he kept going. Saran spoke softly, guiding him through strange circuits that were unlike any machine he had ever seen. When Milo connected the last wire, the whole wreck shivered. A deep sound filled the air, like a heartbeat returning. The light surged through the hull, bright and strong. "I am online," Saran said, voice clear and steady. "You did it." Milo stepped back and watched as the vehicle lifted slightly off the ground, still damaged but alive. He felt a strange joy, like he had just helped a friend stand up after a long injury. Saran spoke again, calm but serious. "Human Milo, there is something you must know. When I woke fully, I detected a signal. It is old, but it is from my enemies." Milo's stomach tightened. "What does that mean?" "It means," Saran said, "that your world may not be safe." Milo stared at the glowing machine. The night around him suddenly felt bigger, darker, and full of danger he didn't understand. But he wasn't afraid. Saran was awake now, and he was no longer alone. And he was ready to learn the truth. The wind blew quietly across the empty field as Milo stood beside Saran, the alien vehicle he had repaired. The early light of morning touched the broken metal and made the blue lights inside Saran's body shine brighter. Milo felt nervous. Something big was coming, and he knew his life would not be normal again. Saran hovered a few inches above the ground, still damaged but awake and aware. Its voice was calm but serious. "Milo, I must tell you the truth now. My last mission was to protect a star sector from an enemy fleet. My pilot and I were attacked before we could finish it." Milo listened carefully. He had never heard anything like this before. "So, you were a soldier?" "No," Saran replied softly. "I was a protector. My purpose was to guide and defend life. I never wanted war. But war arrived anyway." Milo nodded slowly. "And now you think they're coming here?" "Yes. The signal I detected is old, but it belongs to the same enemy. If they are returning, Earth may be in danger." The fear in Milo's chest grew, but he also felt something else: responsibility. He wasn't a hero, just a guy who fixed things. Yet Saran was looking at him as if he mattered. "What do we do?" Milo asked. For a moment Saran was silent. Then the lights inside its hull brightened. "We finished the mission. Together." Milo blinked in surprise. "Me? I'm not a soldier. I fix cars and machines. And I need someone who understands machines," Saran said. "You brought me back when no one else tried. You saw me as more than a broken tool. That is why I trust you." Milo looked at the glowing core inside Saran. He remembered the sadness in Saran's voice when it talked about waiting alone for years. He felt a spark inside himself. Maybe he couldn't fight, but he could help. "What do you need me to do?" he asked. "Climb inside," Saran said gently. "You will not be a pilot. You will be a partner. I will handle the movement. You will guide the repairs and help control the systems I cannot manage alone." Milo took a deep breath. He felt scared but also excited. He stepped toward the small door on Saran's side. It opened slowly with a soft hiss. Inside, the cockpit was dark at first, then dim lights brightened enough to show the seat, controls, and strange panels filled with symbols he didn't understand. As he sat down, the seat shifted and adjusted to his body. He touched the panel, and it lit up under his hand as if it recognized him. "I am linking with your neural pattern," Saran said. "Do not fear. You will feel a slight pressure." A pulse spread through the cockpit like warm air. Milo felt a soft tingling in his head, as if someone gently touched his thoughts. It wasn't painful. It felt like Saran was learning who he was. "Milo," Saran said softly, "you have a kind mind. That will help us both." The floor beneath them shook as Saran lifted into the air. Milo looked outside through the clear front window. The ground moved away slowly, then faster. He gasped as they rose above the trees. He had never flown before. "This is amazing," he whispered. Saran let out a soft tone, almost like a laugh. "It feels good to move again." The higher they went, the more Milo could see: the town, the fields, the distant hills. Everything looked small now. It felt unreal. "We must leave this area," Saran explained. "If the enemy signal grows stronger, they may detect me. And if they detect me, they may detect you." Milo tightened his grip on the armrests. "Where do we go?" "To a place where I can regain my strength," Saran said. "My makers built hidden recharge sites across many worlds. One of them is in your mountains. We must reach it." Milo nodded. "Then let's go." They flew for miles. The wind brushed softly against the hull. Milo watched the world pass beneath him, and he felt like a small part of something huge. Saran spoke to him along the way, explaining how its systems worked, how energy flowed through its circuits, and how its scanners were always watching for danger. "There is something else you must know," Saran said after a long silence. "My pilot, he trusted me with something important. Something I must protect at any cost." "What is it?" Milo asked. "A message," Saran replied. "A message for a species my creators believed would one day rise. A species who would not run from darkness." Milo's heart began to beat faster. Do you mean, humans? Yes, humans. Milo leaned back slowly. He didn't understand why an alien civilization would see humans as important, but the idea made his mind race. Suddenly, a sharp alarm echoed through the cockpit. Red lights flashed on the panels. Saran, what is that? Enemy trace signal, Saran answered. They are near. Much nearer than I expected. Milo felt fear grip him, but Saran's voice stayed calm. Do not panic. Hold tight. The vehicle turned sharply, speeding across the sky. Milo felt the force push him into the seat. Through the window he saw a dark streak moving behind them. Something fast, something silent, and something not human. Saran, they're following us. Yes, Saran said. They have found me. But I will not let them take you. The mountains rose ahead, sharp and tall. Saran dove between them, moving faster than Milo thought possible. The dark streak followed, weaving through rock and shadow like a hunter. Milo felt powerless, but he trusted Saran completely. There! Saran cried. The recharge site. A glowing structure appeared hidden in the side of a mountain, a doorway of light. Saran shot toward it, engine straining. The enemy streak came closer, almost reaching them. Milo, Saran said, voice steady but urgent, do not fear. This is only the beginning. They dove into the light and the world vanished behind them. The mission had begun again. And this time Milo was part of it. The glow of the recharge site faded as Saran and Milo emerged into open space. The stars stretched endlessly around them, cold and distant, but Milo felt a strange thrill. He was no longer standing in a scrapyard on a lonely planet. He was part of something bigger, something alive, something that mattered. Enemy ships approaching, Saran said calmly, though its lights pulsed faster. They have followed us across the sector. Milo's stomach tightened. He had never been in a fight before, never faced danger like this. How many? He asked. 3 fast attack craft, armed and relentless, Saran replied. They will not stop until I am destroyed. Milo gripped the controls tightly, though he knew Saran was the one moving. What can I do? Watch my systems. Help me stabilize the shields and redirect power to the engines, Saran said. I will guide our movements, but your mind and hands will help me survive. Milo's fingers flew across the panels, pressing switches, rerouting circuits, and monitoring energy flow. Red lights flashed as the shield strained under fire. He felt sweat on his forehead, but he stayed focused. Every command Saran gave made sense, even if it was alien. The first enemy ship lunged at them, firing plasma beams. Milo felt the seat shake as Saran twisted and dodged with unbelievable speed. The beams missed by inches, cutting through empty space where they had been a second ago. Hold steady, Saran whispered. Now divert power to the rear thrusters. Milo pressed the controls, watching energy flow into the engines. Saran's hull shimmered as it accelerated. They twisted through space like a ribbon, weaving between stars. The second enemy ship fired, but Saran anticipated the move. A pulse of energy shot from the vehicle, disrupting the enemy's targeting systems. Milo's hands flew, stabilizing the shields, keeping Saran's core from overloading. You are doing well, Saran said. Do not let fear control you. Trust yourself. Milo swallowed hard, his heart racing. He had never felt so alive. Every motion, every decision mattered. One mistake and they could be destroyed. But he trusted Saran and Saran trusted him. The third enemy craft approached from above. Milo adjusted the energy flow to the upper shields while Saran spun around, its hull reflecting the light of distant stars. The enemy fired again, plasma beams cutting across the void. Sparks of energy danced across Saran's hull, but the shields held. Milo felt a surge of pride. He was keeping the ship alive. Now, Saran said, I will draw them toward the asteroid field. You must keep the shields at maximum. Milo nodded, fingers moving quickly. The asteroid field loomed ahead, massive rocks floating in silence. Saran darted between them with incredible agility. The enemy ships followed blindly, crashing into asteroids or retreating to avoid collisions. Milo breathed a small sigh of relief. We are clear, for now, Saran said. Its lights dimmed slightly as it recovered energy. Good work, human. Milo smiled, exhausted but thrilled. I didn't think I could do this, he admitted. You can, Saran said simply. You only needed to try. They continued through space, heading toward the location of the lost beacon. It floated near a drifting asteroid fortress, old and abandoned. Milo felt unease as they approached. The fortress was huge, dark, and foreboding, but the beacon pulsed with weak light. It was alive but unstable. This is it, Saran said. We must stabilize the beacon. If it fails, it could trigger a chain reaction and destroy nearby worlds. Milo's hands shook slightly, but he focused. He followed Saran's instructions, connecting energy lines, adjusting circuits, and synchronizing the beacon with Saran's systems. Sparks flew, alarms beeped, and the ground of the fortress trembled. Milo stayed calm, guided by Saran's voice. Suddenly, enemy ships appeared again, fast and numerous this time. Milo froze for a moment. Saran, they're back. Yes, Saran said. Do not panic. We finish this mission first. The vehicle shifted, placing itself between Milo and the beacon. Its energy shields flared, absorbing enemy fire. Milo continued working, redirecting power and keeping the beacon stable. Sparks flew across the panels and the lights flickered, but the pulse of the beacon steadied slowly. One of the enemy ships fired directly at them. Milo braced himself as Saran twisted, absorbing the attack with shields, energy arcing across the hull. Milo redirected power to the damaged systems, and the lights inside the cockpit brightened. Almost there, Saran whispered. Keep going. You are doing well. Milo focused every ounce of attention on the controls. Circuits hummed, lights blinked, and finally the beacon pulsed steadily. A wave of calm energy spread across the fortress. Milo exhaled slowly. The enemy ships hesitated, disrupted by the beacon's activation. Saran shot forward, striking at them with precision pulses. Milo followed the instructions, targeting weak points, redirecting energy and supporting Saran's attacks. One by one, the enemy ships broke formation and fled into the void. Silence returned to space. Milo leaned back, exhausted but exhilarated. We did it, he whispered. Yes, Saran said. Its glow dimmed to a soft blue. The mission is stabilized. You have done more than I expected, human. You have saved not just me but this sector of space. Milo looked at the calm stars, feeling awe. He had never imagined that repairing a forgotten vehicle would lead him here. He had faced danger, guided an alien ship, and helped save worlds. Saran's voice softened. There is more work to do, but you have proven yourself. Together, we are ready for whatever comes next. Milo smiled, finally understanding. He was not just a mechanic. He was part of something larger. A partner, a protector, and now, a hero in a story much bigger than he had ever dreamed. And as they moved forward, through fire and stars, Milo realized one thing clearly. He would never leave Saran behind, and Saran would never leave him. The galaxy stretched ahead, filled with dangers and possibilities, and together they were ready to face it all. The stars stretched endlessly around Milo and Saran as they left the asteroid fortress behind. The battle was over, the beacon stabilized, and the enemy had been driven away, for now. Milo leaned back in his seat, exhaustion heavy in his body, but a strange satisfaction filled his chest. They had done it. Together. Saran hummed softly, its glow pulsing with a calm blue light. You performed beyond expectation, Milo. I did not think a human could adapt so quickly to these systems, yet you did. Milo smiled faintly. I just followed your instructions. You made it easier. No, Saran said. You made it possible. I could not have completed the mission alone. You reminded me that courage comes in forms I did not anticipate. That is why I trust humans. Milo felt warmth at Saran's words. They had been through so much in such a short time, and yet a bond had formed. A bond stronger than fear, stronger than danger. The vehicle glided through the void, engines humming in harmony with the stars. Milo looked at the endless black sprinkled with light. What now? He asked. Saran's glow brightened. Now we form a new alliance. The beacon has sent its signal across the sector. Many civilizations, long isolated or at war, have sensed it. They will come together. The galaxy has needed hope, Milo, and now they have a sign. Milo felt a chill of excitement. So, we did more than just survive? We actually helped start something big. Yes, Saran said. And there is more work ahead. Others will arrive, seeking guidance and safety. Some will be friends, some will be enemies. We must help unify them while preparing for threats we do not yet see. Milo nodded. He felt the weight of responsibility, but it did not frighten him. He had never imagined his life would reach this point, from fixing broken parts in a scrapyard to helping lead a fleet of civilizations toward peace. Saran slowed near a distant star, allowing Milo to catch his breath. The cockpit was quiet for a moment, except for the soft hum of energy. Milo leaned forward, looking at the readouts and panels. You've been waiting a long time for someone to help you, haven't you? He asked. Yes, Saran admitted softly. Years, decades. I did not expect to survive. I did not expect to find a human who could understand me, trust me, and work alongside me. You have changed that. Milo smiled, feeling a strange pride. We changed it together. You needed someone to trust, and I needed to do something that mattered. The vehicle pulsed with light, almost like laughter. Then we are even, Saran said. From this point forward we act as partners. You will not just repair or guide me, you will lead with me. Our alliance is new, but it is strong. Milo's eyes swept over the stars. Ahead in the distance he could see tiny glimmers, other ships responding to the beacon's signal. Some were alien, sleek and unfamiliar. Others were mechanical constructs like Saran but different, newer or older. He realized that the galaxy was beginning to move, forming a network of life ready to cooperate for survival and growth. Looks like we have company, Milo said, pointing to the approaching ships. Yes, Saran replied. Some will be wary. Some will test us. But the beacon has opened a door. Others will see that unity is possible. Milo's fingers rested lightly on the console. And we'll help them? We will, Saran said. Together. You have courage, Milo. I have experience. And together we can show them a path forward. As they moved closer to the fleet of responding ships, Milo felt a mixture of fear and excitement. He was small compared to the galaxy, just one human among countless civilizations. Yet he was not alone. Saran was beside him, alive, aware, and ready to face whatever came next. One of the alien ships came closer, its lights flashing. A voice, strange but understandable through the ship's communication system, spoke. Saran, we received your signal. Who is your human companion? Milo swallowed but spoke into the microphone, his voice steady. I am Milo. I helped Saran repair and activate the beacon. I'm here to help. The alien ship paused, then a soft tone of acknowledgement responded. We will follow. You have our trust. Saran pulsed with pride. See, Milo? They are willing to listen. They are willing to join. This is how alliances begin, through trust and action, not fear. Milo nodded, looking at the small dots of ships gathering around them. Then this is really happening. We're actually forming something new. Yes, Saran said softly. And it begins with us. Together we show that courage and compassion can shape the future. Humans are stronger than many believe, Milo. And together with others, we will guide this galaxy into a new era. Milo smiled, feeling a sense of purpose he had never known. The scrapyard, the lonely nights repairing broken machines, the fear he had felt, all of it led to this moment. He was no longer just a mechanic. He was a part of something greater, a force for hope in the stars. Saran adjusted its course, leading the growing fleet through the void. Milo watched the stars reflect on the hull, and for the first time he felt truly at home, not on a planet, not in a workshop, but here in the endless darkness filled with light, life and possibilities. Where to next? Milo asked, excitement rising in his chest. Forward, Saran replied. Wherever the galaxy needs us. Our journey is only beginning, and together we will face it all. Milo gripped the console, ready for anything. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, and for the first time he felt the full weight of adventure and responsibility. But he was not afraid. Not with Saran by his side. The galaxy was vast and full of danger, but it was also full of hope. And as they moved into the unknown, Milo and Saran knew one thing clearly: they were not alone. Together they would guide, protect, and inspire. A new alliance had been born. And the stars themselves seemed to shine brighter because of it.